Fine. I'll play Super Mario RPG.
I'm gonna say this now. I hate RPGs. They're simply just not for me. Not to say I don't understand the appeal, because I definitely do, but for me, when I'm gaming, I prefer something faster.
And that's probably due to my...
But by now, as a gamer, you can't really avoid RPGs, and I've played a handful of them. But the only ones I can really seem to tolerate at the end of the day are the Mario ones.
What can I say? If I'm not predictable, then what am I?
But that brings us to Super Mario RPG on the Super Nintendo. Now, the thing about this game is I've had it for a while. I bought it on the Wii Shop channel and played like 5 minutes of it when I was a kid, and I absolutely hated it. Probably because I was a stupid kid with no attention span. Well, years down the line, I picked up the Super Nintendo Entertainment System Classic, you know, the little one? That of which had Super Mario RPG on it. So I decided to give it another shot. Got 5 minutes in, got bored and pissed off, and quit. And for a while there, I had Mario RPG banished to the depths of games that I don't like. Now, this was years ago, and up until now, I hated Mario RPG. Enough to say it was one of my least favorite Mario games of all time. But then the remake was announced, and I thought to myself, man, do I really want to buy this game?
But it has Mario in it, so you know I needed to buy it.
In 1996, an RPG filled with fun writing, cool locations, and great characters released on the Super Nintendo. That being Super Mario RPG. It was developed by Square, and it took the classic Mario characters and threw them into their first RPG adventure. The adventure was filled with time action commands, which would be a series staple in both the Mario & Luigi series and the Paper Mario series. And while I never got into it growing up, people love this game. I hear people call this game their favorite Mario game time and time again, and from what I played, I never understood it, but remember, I was just a stupid kid with no attention span. So within the last year, I was feeling the urge of, maybe I should give Mario RPG another shot. And just about when I was going to, Nintendo announced a remake of Super Mario RPG.
So I decided to wait until the remake came out because while it's a remake and the original game's been out since 1996, I've only played 5 minutes of it, so this is technically a brand new game for me.
I will say though, it's still pretty insane to me to see Nintendo remake this game. They've been pretty strict with the Mario franchise, and this game goes a little bit wild with some of the characters, and honestly, I have to say, I did not see this coming. I don't think anyone did. But to our surprise, on November 17, 2023, the Super Mario RPG remake was released on the Nintendo Switch.
Now, I picked up a copy and I was ready to immediately banish it to the shelf of Mario games, but I was feeling generous.
I popped it on the TV, sat down for a minute, and then it hit me. So, as most of you probably know, Super Mario RPG is a turn-based combat RPG with timed action commands that throw Mario, Peach, and Bowser on a quest to collect the 7 stars to defeat the Smithy Gang. Along the way, you meet Mallow, who joins you on your quest. He's a little cloud guy who thinks he's a frog, when in reality he's a prince. And finally, you meet the fan favorite Geno, a star spirit from above who possessed a doll so he could join Mario on his quest. During battle, you can have Mario and 2 others on your team. Personally, I prefer Mario, Peach, and Bowser because classic, but they always end up dying and I get stuck with him. Now, as you can probably notice right off the bat, the game has a very distinct art style. It looks like it took Mario and squished him, and not into a ball this time. And it's incredibly charming. While it's always nice to see new Mario art styles, this one's really fun. And I think the remake did a great job at redoing all the models accurate to the original. And since we're talking about the remake, there's also a selection to swap between classic and modern music. And while I'm sure there are some people out there who just love the classic Mario RPG soundtrack, I think the modern music is whimsical and at some points magical. The soundtrack is expertly crafted to fit this remake, and honestly, I love some of these new tracks. Now, the game also fully animates some cutscenes from the original, and I figured they'd just do like 1 or 2 cutscenes, but no! A ton of the cutscenes are fully animated and they look great! With the incredibly charming character models, I always look forward to seeing what comes next. As for the story, yeah, it's there. While the writing is great and lots of funny things happen along the way, you're on a set path and it's pretty clear about that, which is not a bad thing. As you go, the game likes to shake things up by throwing you into some mini-game sections that have Mario either riding in a minecart or sliding down a waterfall. But each of these keeps the game feeling fresh and exciting. Now, let's get into the battles. It's a Mario RPG, so action commands are the big factor here. For those of you who don't know, an action command is when you use a move, if you hit the selected button with the right timing, it'll do more damage, or you can use it to block. If you hit it at the right time when blocking, you'll take less damage. Action commands are what keep me engaged. I don't think I can play an RPG without them. Each character has a whole set of special moves and normal attacks, and in the remake, an exclamation point will appear telling you when exactly to press the A button. The more you get it right, the exclamation point does go away, but if you start messing up the timing, it will come back. I think this is great, honestly. It helps players master the timing and understand the mechanics, which can be tough, especially for RPGs. To go with that, the Mario RPG remake comes with an easy mode that can be toggled on and off at any point in the game without affecting your progress, which I think is great for newcomers. I even started with the game on easy mode because I'm so very bad at RPGs. But I quickly turned it off because I realized how easy it was. The battle mode also lets you chain attacks, by which I mean the better you time moves and block attacks, the chain fills up, which let you use one of the plenty team attacks, which will either heal your team or do massive damage. I like this a lot. I think it's a really fun new feature. While this is an extremely faithful remake, it's still a classic RPG. Most of the segments are linear, but there are certain times where if you miss the slightest bit of dialogue, you're gonna have no idea where to go. Thankfully, it's never devastating, but there were a couple times where I was like, man, I'm getting close to giving up and never playing this game again because nobody told me I had to go to this specific shop to get this specific food item to give to the stupid frog sage. To go with that, the remake has a lot of frame rate drop issues. Entering new areas tend to drop the frame rate, and going underwater really kills it. While it's not going to ruin the game in any means, it'll slow things down a couple times and it's pretty noticeable. To wrap things up, Super Mario RPG is a really fun time. The remake is incredibly faithful with some added changes that I really enjoy. If the remake never came out, I probably would have never played the game again, and all my memories with the game would have been giving up after 5 minutes when I was a kid. I'm so happy I got the chance to enjoy this game, and I highly recommend checking out Super Mario RPG. And you know what? Since I had such a good time with this one, I might try other RPGs. Never mind.